Okay, so in the end of Kufyu Tes, the Gemara recorded a machlokes between Rabbi Eliyahu and Rish Lakish, and then brings it down in different versions where exactly the machlokes was learned onto. So Kufchaf starts with the last version. Ika demasni law amasnisin. Some learn their machlokes on the Mishnah. How did they learn on the Mishnah? Or v'aroitiv v'akipa. Our Mishnah said that all these things, or roitiv kipa, they're mitzvah from the Tami Tumas Oichlin. They are part of the Oichel in regards to the shear of Tumas Oichlin. Amar Rish Lakish leishanu ala etzim da v'shomer. Rish Lakish says only a bone which is a shomer, which watches over, which protects it, that's mitzvah of the gabi Tumas Oichlin. Aval nima, but if you have a hair, lo yahavi shomer, that's not considered a shomer. It's not going to be mitzvah. No. It says even a hair is also a shomer. Rish Lakish Rabbi Yochanan. Frakt Rish Lakish Rabbi Yochanan. Mika shomer al gabi shomer. Could there be such a thing? You have a shomer al gabi shomer. Why? Because the or, there's the basar, the or on top of the basar, and then the piece of hair on top of the or. So that's also what we learned before. The Gemara brought a raya from a Mishnah regarding onions, that only one layer is always a shomer. We don't look at the shomer al gabi shomer. The one on top is not considered a shomer. So bazoi, how could you tell me that a hair is a shomer? It says the Gemara really, it's not shomer al gabi shomer. Why? Because the hair perforates the actual skin, the hide, and goes straight into the basar in the morning. So Mela, it's not shomer al gabi shomer. It's a shomer. Maske flor vacha. So Rav asks the question, and how do we write tefillin? We write tefillin on klaf, on the skin, but you need a complete writing. We learned from the pasuk ksav tam, ksiva tama, you need ksav tam, you need a complete writing. And if now you're telling me that there are holes in the skin, because there are holes in the skin where the hair goes through it, because you're telling me the hair goes all the way to the basar, so now there's a problem, because now there's small holes in the cloth. That means that it's not a ksiva tama, it's not a complete writing. The leka says the Gemara, this question is not such a good question, because ishtamite had amri marava, he forgot what they say in marava, called nekev shadyo overlove in a nekev. Any nekev, even on the cloth, which is if there's a small hole, but the ink glosses over it, the ink doesn't seep through it. Right, so then there's no issue with that nekev on klaf. So the shore over here, the nekavim that the hair makes, are not going to be a problem with gabi tefillin. Okay, either way, that's what Rish Lakish answers. That's what Rabbi Yochanan answers, that the hair goes all the way through. Ace Rabbi Yochanan Rish Lakish, or sheyeshel of kazayis basar. The Brisa says that if you have or skin. There's a kazayis basar, and then hanagya b'tziv hayotzim mimenu. If you touch like a little piece of meat that is coming out of, Rashi says it's a string. Tziv is a string of basar. And so if you touch a string of meat, hayotzim mimenu, that's coming out of this kazayis basar, or ubisara, or in a piece of hair that's coming out of the skin, shekenegdei tameh. If you touch a piece of hair that's opposite the piece of meat, so then it's tamei. My lav says the Gemara mishum shomer. The reason why you're chayiv is because it's a shomer. So you see that a hair could be a shomer. So he tells him back, loy mishum yad. No, it's not al shomer. It's al yad. It really ain't shomer al gabi shomer, and you can't have a shomer. A piece of hair is not a shomer. So what is it? How is it mitame? How is the hair mitame you if you touch it? It says the Gemara, it's mishum yad. In fact, the Gemara nima achas l'may chazia. How is one hair? What's it good for? You can't pick up a piece of meat with one hair. It's going to fall off. It's not strong enough. It can't even be considered a yad. A yad is only something that you could actually use it to pick something up with. It says the Gemara kedamar Rabbi Eliyahu, just like Rabbi Eliyahu said, v'mila yishebeina miloin, when Rabbi Eliyahu was saying that he was talking about a similar situation when you're talking about shibolim of wheat that have little hairs sticking out also. So he holds also that it wasn't. We're going to see the Gemara is going to talk exactly his case, but also he said we're not talking about one little bristle that's coming out. We're talking about many bristles that are coming out. So that's not a problem. So therefore, just like Rabbi Eliyahu says, we're not talking about one. We're talking about many. So too over here, we're talking about many different hairs that are coming out of the skin. Therefore, it is a yad because altogether they constitute a yad. Even though you're right, one alone would not be considered a yad. Where did Rabbi Eliyahu say his statement? Like it says in the Mishnah, the milai shibolim are the stalks of wheat, and if you have little strings coming out, the little things that poke out of the kernels, so or out of the actual stalk maybe. The Mishnah says they're mitamin or mitamin. They act as a bridge for tumah in and out. However, they're not mitzdarif. Why? They're not, if they're a shomer, they should be mitzdarif. Must be they're not a shomer, they're a yad, right? Because yodis are not mitzdarif. It's affecting more milai lemay chazia. What's it good for? You can't pick. It can't be a yad, right? You can't pick it up with. You have one little hair. You're going to pick up the stalk with. It's not a yad. We're talking about when there are many of them together, and that's the way you pick it up. So therefore, you see, okay. So this is where he said his thing. So to Bayas, Rishlakish, Rabbi Yochanan, who says it's a nima, he means if there's many nimas. If there's many hairs together, then it does bring tumah. It's considered a yad. Okay. Weiter in the Mishnah, veharoitev, my roitev, amarova shumna. He says it's fat. So it itself should be considered oichlin and should be mitamet to myself. And it's why are we only looking at it as is it mitzdarif to the basar or not? Right, the or and the roitev and the kippah and the alol, are they mitzdarif or they're not mitzdarif? Right, it says it's mitzdarif for the tumas oichlin. Well, if roitev is fat, so then it's food. Fat is considered food, and so it on its own right should be considered oichel. Why is it a shaila if it's mitzdarif to something else? Ella says in Gemara, chalev de korish, or they change it to chala de korish. This is not fat. This is something that coagulates from the meat. It's not really fat. It wouldn't be considered food, and therefore the shaila is whether it is mitzdarif. Rashi says, "Leicha hayotzim in abasar shikorin galayra." Okay, some type of liquidy thing that coagulates. The korish. Korish means it becomes hard. Okay, so that's what it's talking about, but it's not fat. It says the Gemara, "My ear, your korish." Why does it have to be korish? Why does it have to get hard? Kilei korish nami. Even if it doesn't get coagulated nami, also it should be considered mitzdaref. The Amar Shlakish, we see Rish Lakish says, "Sirish al gabai yerik." If you have also liquid that's on top of a vegetable, it is mitzdaref l'kakoiseves b'yom kippurim. You need a shear on Yom Kippur when you eat. You need a shear of kakoiseves, like a date. So if you have tzir on top of yerek, which is also a type of like the juice that comes out of the yerek, that's considered part of the shear. It's mitzdaref, right? Even though it's not korish, didn't come hard, it didn't coagulate, it's just liquid still. So why over there is a mitzdaref even though it's not korish? The Gemara says Hasam Mishu Yisuvei Daitahu. Over there in Yom Kippur, the whole idea is all regarding what is going to calm down his hunger. With a little bit, even though it's not korish, it's going to calm him down, and therefore by Yom Kippur the stances are different. But over here, we need it to be mitzdaref to the actual shear of oichel. Korish mitzdaref. If it's hard, it's mitzdaref because then it's considered oichel. Iloi korish loy mitzdaref because Rashi says it's a mashke and oichel are mitzdaref. So therefore, you need it to be hard. Okay. The akipa, my kipa. Good morning. Amarava firma. Firma, the way they explain it, means on the bottom here they say chatichos basar v'tavlin hashoykos b'shulei akadever. You have these little pieces of basar, they're going somewhere else, but little chatichas of basar that fall down to the bottom of the k'der. I guess after you cook it, little remnants of meat that go to the bottom of the pot. So that's firma. It itself should be considered tamei tumas oichel because you're telling me that it's pieces of meat. Pieces of meat are oichel, right? So what's the shaila of it being mitzdarif? It itself is oichel. Elamarav papa tavlin. We're talking about a tavlin. We're talking about spices. Okay, and we're saying that the spice is mitzdarif to the meat. The gabi tumas oichel. Now the Gemara is going to go into a whole different sugya regarding if you eat Isser, certain types of Isurim, in liquid form. The Torah says if you eat it. What about if you drink it? Right? So that's the Gemara's challenge over here. Is it Nishtana, since it's different than first of all, the Torah says to be Oichel and you're being Shaiset, so that's not Derech Achila. So to maybe the Isser itself isn't, Isser itself is only maybe considered the Isser when it's in its correct form, but if you liquefied it, so maybe it's not considered Asr. Okay. So that's the Shiloh over here. So Tanan Hasam. Hikpa is Adam, you have Dam. Dam is usually liquid. And let's say you solidify it. Hikpa means you wait to be for you make it a solid. You freeze it like. So then what's the halacha? Hikpa is Adam or you liquefied, you heated up chaylev and it became liquid, the gmoy, and you drank it, you chugged it down. So chayav. The Mishnah says, it's Mishnah in Menachos, interesting, that you're chayav. No, they say it's not a Mishnah. They say that you're chayav. Vishlama says more hikpas adam v'achloi. We understand hikpas adam v'achloi cave in the akpei since you solidify it, so you were machshav it. In your eyes, it was something that's chashav because you went through the bother to make it hard. So therefore, that we understand you would be chayiv, even though dam is usually in liquid form. However, if you liquefied the chaylev, it says achila v'halav achila. This is not achila. It sounds like even though you're achshaveh, right, even though you did want it to be in liquid form because you made it into liquid, still because the lashon by chaylev is achila, so who said you're going to be chayiv if you drink chaylev? By dam, the lashon is achila. Right? So since it's lashon achila, so maybe if you're hikba'id, you're still chayiv because you're achshaveh. But by chaylev, even though you're achshaveh, even though you want it as liquid, still wouldn't be enough because it's drinking. Now the pasuk says you're not allowed to eat chaylev. Ve'alav achilohi. So Amar Shlakish Amar Kra Nefesh L'Rabbis Is HaShoyse. When the pasuk says,
Torah says lo sochlo by dam, then maybe dafka is achila. If that's what we're saying, achila is not shasiya.
Right.
So maybe dafka.
Maybe dafka hikpa.
Yeah.
I mean, but the natural form of dam is when it's liquid.
I know, but you're saying the Havamina here is that achila and shasiya are different. And the Torah is dafka. That's right. What you're saying. Chaylev was dafka achila and not shasiya.
Right. I mean, no, but I think I hear your point, but I think that's the more sort of pointing out is that we can't be so makbid by dam. Right. By dam, we can't be makbid really because dam, you're right, we're going to concede that you're going to chayiv dam when it's liquid form. That's the regular form, and still it says achila, right? So by dam, we can't really be so makbid. If you made it into a salad, look, it says achila, right? But however, when you get the chaylev, it says achila, and the regular form is salad. Right, so then maybe it has to be. You have to eat it. Here, Rashi didn't really explain what the difference is. Okay. So either way, Rish Lakish says, "Omar Kar Nefesh L'Rabbis Is HaShoyse." By the pasuk of Chaylev, it says, "Kikol Chaylev Min HaMe'at Shekir Min HaShel Hashem." The Nichrusa HaNefesh Shoychelas Min HaMe'at. It says about someone who eats Chaylev, Nichrusa HaNefesh. Why do you need a nefesh? He says the nefesh is l'rabbis is anyone, any person who drinks, even if you drink. Okay. So therefore, you see from here, even if you drink chaylev, you're chayiv. Tani nami gabi chometz. We have a similar brayso by chometz. Kai gavna himcho ugmoy. If you liquefied chometz, and then you chugged it, im chometzu onush kores. if it's chametz rechayev kares. Im matzah but if it's matzah, ein adam yaitze yidei chavasa bepesach. So the gami matzah, it's not considered matzah. In Bishlama matzah says the Gemara, we understand ein adam yaitze yidei chavasa bepesach. Why? Because lechem oini amar rachmana v'hai lav lechem oini. Matzah is not just about achila; it's also about the form. It's about how it looks, about how it tastes. Lechem oini. Has to be lechem oini. Over here, it's not lechem oini. You should liquefy it. Elohim chametz onish kares. If it's chametz and you liquefied it, why are you onish kares? Achila ksiv bebeit. It says achila. So you see again the same pasuk, the same. It says the same thing by chametz. So you see nefesh also. Nefesh includes someone who drinks chametz. Now I don't know if whiskey, right? Whiskey, that's the derech to have it is in a liquid form. I don't know if this is B'chal discussing that. I don't know even if we need the pasuk over here for whiskey, for a mashka, for beer that's actually chametz. But this is talking about if you have real chametz solids, right? And then you liquefy that. Okay. Tani nami gabi nevelas oif tahar. So to a similar thing by nevela, by an oif tahar that's a nevela that dies. Kehagavna similarly himcho be'ur. If you melted it in a fire, so it's tamei. Bechama, but in the sun, it's tahar. V'havinon ba achila ksiv bei. It says achila. So why if you melted it is it still considered behemoth tmeya? Is it huh?
It's not an achila.
It's right. It says achila by nevela saif. It says achila. If you eat it, you become tamei. And over here, it's not achila. So why, if himcho ba'ur, are you tamei? Why, if you melted it in fire and you drank it, so why are you tamei? It says achila. Nefesh l'rabbis the same thing. It says the whole nefesh asher techal nevela utreifa. So you see from the word nefesh that even someone who drinks nevela is going to be usher. Says the Gemara, ihachi b'chama nami. Well, if so why is this chilik? And whether you melted it in the sun or you melted it in fire, what's the difference? The Gemara says b'chama yisruchem misrach. No, what happens is if you melt it in the sun, it spoils, it becomes rotten. So therefore, you're not going to be chayiv. Utzrichi. Now the Gemara says you need all three of these psukim to teach you by chometz, by nevela, and by chaylev. Yikas v'chman chaylev. If it only said chaylev, so chometz loy asimine, you would not be able to learn chometz from chaylev. Sheken loy haisa loy shasa kosher. Chaylev never had shasa kosher; it was always asa. That's why if you drink it, it's a problem. But chometz, no, it's more kal because it has haisa loy shasa kosher. Before Pesach, you're allowed to have chometz, so maybe chometz won't have that chomer quality, that strict quality that even if you drink it, it's a problem. Nevela also loy asimine. You can't learn nevela from chaylev. Why? Shekin anush kares, because chaylev is anush kares. Therefore, you can't learn, and nevela isn't. Therefore, again, chaylev is more strict. Because rachmana chametz. If it's at chametz, chaylev loyasim, and you would not learn chaylev from him. Why? Shekin loy hutar michloloi. Chametz is not hutar michloloi. When we say chametz is aser, all types of chametz is aser. There's no exception. What chaylev does have exceptions. It's hutar michloloi, like a chaylev chaya. The chaya's chaylev is mutar. So therefore, again, chametz is more chomer. When nevela also you can't learn loyasimina, you can't learn from chametz because chametz is anish karetz. Because rachman and nevela, if the Torah only said nevela hanach loyasimina, you can't learn from it. Shekin mitama, because nevela is mitama, unlike chaylev and chametz. So therefore you can't learn from one of them. Chadam echad loyasi, okay, you can't learn from one. Teisi chadam etarti, let's learn one from two. Hey teisi, which two? Lichta Rachmana, the Gemara says, Loi Lichta Rachmana Nevela. Let the Torah omit the one by Nevela, the Teisi Mehanach, learn from the other two, Chaylev and Chometz. Where it says, no, Malahanach Shekain Anush Kares. You would not be able to learn two Nevela because those two Chaylev and Chometz have Kares. Says the Gemara, Loi Lichta Rachmana B'Chometz. Okay, so let's leave out Chometz, the Teisi from Mehanach, from Chaylev and Nevela. Malahanach Shekain Loi Hoysel and Shasa Kosher. You want to learn two chametz? No, chametz didn't have. Chametz has shasa kosher. It has a time when it's mutter, so it's more kal. So you can't learn from bechel and nevela. Where it says loylech d'rachmana bechelev. Okay, so let's omit chelev. Beteisi mehanach, we should learn from nevela and chametz. The what? Where it says Malahana Shkel Hutar Mechlala. And again, Chaylev is Hutar Mechlala, and therefore you can't learn two Chaylev because Chaylev is more kal. Maybe if you drink it, you won't be chayiv. It is Hutar Mechlala, so therefore it's more kal. You can't learn from it, and therefore you need all three psukim. Okay, says the Gemara, remind me what concept do you mean that Chaylev is Hutar Mechlala? Ilay Mechaylev Behema Legavoya, that the Chaylev of an animal, of a behema, goes to the Mizbeach. Right? So that's what you mean to tell me that Chaylev has the quality of Hutar Mechlala, it's more kal. So it says, what do you mean? The Nevela Nami, Ish Teroi, Melika Soif Legavoya. Nevela also, we also find Nevela that goes to Gavoya as a carbon. Why? Because Melika Soif is allowed. Ish Teroi, Melika Soif Legavoya. And that for us is in Nevela. Right? So therefore, don't tell me Chaylev is more kal. No, Nevela also has this kula. Right? And if the kula of Chaylev that you're talking about is this, that it goes to the Mizbeach, well, Nevela also has that kula, and still it's a problem. So it wouldn't be a pircha. Ve'ela, Chaylev Chaya, you mean that a Chaylev Chaya is mutar lehedyet. So Nevela name ish teroi, Melika dechata sa'if l'kayanim. And if you tell me the reasoning of why Chaya is considered Hutar Mechlala is because regular hedyets are allowed to eat Chaylev Chaya, so then Nevela nami ish teroi, Nevela also should be, has this Heter Mechlala, Melika dechata sa'if l'kayanim. The din is after you do Melika to a chata sa'if, the koyanim are allowed to eat the chata. So you see that there is also an exception to nevela. It's also hutar mechlala. Koyanim are allowed to eat it, right? So too it shouldn't be a pircha. Says the Gemara, the hutar mechlala we are talking about is the chaylev chaya that's allowed to a hedyet. The kakashi the koyanim. You're telling me no, koyanim also have the same exact leniency, the same hutar mechlala. Where it says no, koyanim shulchan gavoya kazochu. The fact that Kohanim eat it are not as a result of its heter to us, really. No, it's hutar legavoya. It's really they're eating from shulchan gavoya, from like Hashem's table. It's not a heter to them. It's a heter to the shulchan gavoya, and because they're Kohanim, so they're shaykh to shulchan gavoya. They're able to get a shulchan gavoya, but it's not a heter to them. It's takana mutar to them. So for this, you won't find that for a hedyet it's mutar. You won't find any hutar mechlali to a hedyet. By chaylev, there is a hutar mechlali to a hedyet. By nevela, there is no time it's mutar for hedyet. And you need to know that they're not acting as hedyets because on their own accord they wouldn't be allowed to. It's only because there's zaycha from shulchan gavoya that's why they're allowed to eat it. Okay. V'adetanya, in fact, the Gemara, this that we learned in Brisa, hatmein, we learn that the pasuk says ve'ela tmeim lochem b'chol hasheretz. We're talking about shratzim, and the extra hay of hatimeim is le'esar tziron. This is the liquid that comes out of them. V'roitvan, the kippah shelahan, the same thing we talked about. The stuff that comes out of the sheretz are also going to be considered aser. Says in Gemara, Lamali, what do you need the pasuk? Ligmor mehani. We should learn from these three. All these three you couldn't learn from each other, right? But let's learn from these three to shratzim. And you wouldn't need a pasuk to teach me that the tzir and the reitiv and the kippah, which are all, or at least the tzir for sure, is a liquefied form of sheretz, right? So you should learn from here that all liquefied form of isser is also also to eat, and therefore the tzir should be asr. And so why do I need hatmeim to teach me a specific pasuk that by shratzim the tzir is asr? Ligmor mehani. Says the Gemara, no, tzrichis. Even the ilakas rachmano. If the Torah wouldn't have said by shratzim hatmeim, havamina dayir lovim in adin liyes kanideh. I would think it's enough to learn from the source. Only you can't learn more than the actual source. Ma hasam adik gazais. By all these three things, nevela chametz and nevela chametz and chaylev, you need a kazais in order to be chayev. And therefore, I would think, you also need to drink a kazais to be chayev. Afachanami, I would say, if we learn it out to shratzim, right, that you need a kazais of tzir. If you're drinking shratzim, however you're drinking it, if you're drinking shratzim, you need a kazais of shratzim in order to be chayev, because you're learning it out from nevela, and nevela and chametz and chaylev need a kazais. So to very need a kazais, adik kazais. So therefore, and we know it's not true. By shratzim, we hold halacha is is that only kadosha. If you have kadosha, you're chayiv. Because the tumah comes kadosha, so too the achilas is with kadosha, and therefore, if you learn from there, you would only need a kadosha. You would think you need a kazayis. Therefore, we need over here to teach you that it's all you need is it has its own limud to teach you that it's only in adosha. Says the Gemara, so let the pasuk only say b'hatmein. That's marbet siram. So now you see liquefied sheretz is also, and you should learn it everywhere else. So lichter rachmana b'shortim v'leisu hanach v'ligmer v'nai. The other one should come learn from it. So the Gemara mishum dikal mifrach mal shrotzim which can tumasan b'mashu. You can't learn from shrotzim anywhere else because shrotzim have a very important chumrah. That their tumah is b'mashu, which really means in adosha, b'kadosha, and therefore, only shratzim are so chamer that even if you drink them, it's also because you see shratzim are so chamer they're metame even b'kadosha. But everything else needs more to be metame, so therefore you can't learn to anywhere else. Therefore, you need to have both. You need to learn. You have to have the three nevela, chelev, and chametz, and you also have hashratzim. Okay, we're on So the Gemara continues v'hada tanya. We have a brayso that says that a tevel, the chodosh, the hekdesh, the shvis, the kilayim, all these things. Tevel is when you didn't take the truma. Chodosh is the new grain. Hekdesh, if you were makdish food. The shvis, the kilayim, something from shmita or kilayim. All these things that kulan mashkin ayotzim and kamoisim. If you have any mashka that comes out of something that you are makdish, or something that's tevel chodosh or shvis or kilayim, if you have liquid that comes out of it, it's kemois and it's just like it. Says the Gemara, minolan. How do we talk and know that? And if you're going to tell me you're going to learn from these three things, nevela, chelev, and chametz that we just learned, no, you can't learn from there. Malahanach sheken isur habami eilov. By us, chelev, chametz, and nevela are all isurim that come on their own. It's not a person who's actually makes the isur, who causes the isur to come, it comes on its own. So the Gemara says, it's okay, fine, you can learn to places where the isur comes alone, like tevel and chodosh and shvis and kilayim. But hekdesh, the isur doesn't come on its own. The hekdesh, you actually make the isur. You make it asur, so therefore, heicha, the lav isur b'me'elav min nolan. Meaning, I guess it's more chamer. You can't learn from when the isur is b'me'elav, so that's much more chamer. So you can't learn to everywhere. What about hekdesh? That's not isur b'me'elav. Says the Gemara, gamrinu min bikurim. We learn it out from bikurim. Bikurim gufayim min nolan. Bikurim themselves. How do you know that liquid bikurim are considered bikurim? The Tanya Rabbi Yasi pre. It says in the pasuk pre. We call lakachtomer. She's called periho adamo. That's bikurim. So it says pre atamevi. You can bring the fruit via atamevi mashke. You can't bring as bikurim. You should not bring yayin, mashke, even yayin. You shouldn't bring any drink. However, let's say hevi anovim. If you brought anovim and you made anovim grapes, you made them into bikurim and then darchan. And then you did like b'diavad. If you did take the grapes and you stepped on them and you made them into wine, minayin. How do you know that you should still bring it? Tamalamar tovi. You should bring it. So what do you see? You see here the bikurim in liquid form. At least b'diavad it works, right? It's fine. It's considered bikurim. So we learn from bikurim to hekdesh that just like by bikurim, mashke is considered mashke of the fruit is considered like the fruit itself. So too by hekdesh. Says the Gemara, ikal mifrach. You could disprove this. Mal bikurim sheken tuunim kriya v'hanocha. Don't bring me right from bikurim that the mashke is the same thing, because by bikurim you have to be kaira, you have to say a whole speech, and you have to put it down in front of the kohen. So you see that there are other chumras by bikurim, so maybe it won't apply to hekdesh. Ela gamar mitruma. Says, how do you learn from truma? Or truma gufa minol? How do you learn from truma? How does truma itself know? The iskash lebikurim, because there's a hekesh between truma and bikurim. The amar more we learned before trumas yodecha. When it says the pasuk says trumas yodecha ele bikurim, you see the bikurim is called truma. So there's a hekesh between truma and bikurim. Just like bikurim have this din of liquid, so too truma gonna have the din of liquid. The Gemara says still you can't learn from truma to hekdesh. Malat truma shkin chayav olem misa v'choymesh. It has its own chumrah that if you eat truma b'tuma you chayav misa, and if b'shoygig you chayav choymesh, you have to pay back more than choymesh. You see, it has its own chomer. El Gemara says Gomer mitarvayu. You learn from both of them. Mitruma ubikurim. Says the Gemara Mala truma bikurim. She can chayav n'alav misa. Also bikurim yichayv olav misa v'chaymish. So therefore you can't learn from both of them. The Gemara says Ela asi mitruma v'chat mehanach. So we can learn from truma and one of the other ones, either nevela or chaylev or chametz. Or from bikurim from the other ones, and basically if you can have the pircha of misa, no, it's not true. Nevela doesn't have misa, right? And if you can have the pircha from nevela, the nevela is mitama. So you learn from here. Truma is not mitama, right? You're able to make a tzad hashava between truma or bikurim and one of the other ones, and it'll work. Says the Gemara, okay, v'hadetanan dvash tmorim. You have the honey that's made out of dates, or yen tapuchim, or the cider that comes out of apples. V'chometz vaniyos, which is the vinegar that comes out of the winter grapes. Rashi says that those grapes, they're not good for anything except for vinegar. That's why it's called chometz vaniyos. Either way, you have your liquids. Usharmine pears of truma and other different types of pears of truma. So you have the liquid may pears. They change to shar may pears, right? The juices that come into it. So all these things of truma. Rabbi Eliyahu is mechayev. Rabbi Eliyahu holds takir chayev Kerem v'chaymish. And if you eat a betuma, or a zar who eats it, he has to pay back the Kerem and the chaymish. Meaning it is considered truma. Rabbi Yeshua exempts him from paying back Kerem and chaymish because it's not truma. Says the Gemara, "My pligi, what's this machlokes? Didn't we learn from here that truma? We just learned l'chara that the mashka of truma is like truma itself." Says the Gemara, the machlokes is like this: "Bedun mino uvdun mino vukibacho." We have a machlokes whether whenever we learn from something, do we learn it fully? Bedun mino fully. We learn everything. We learn from truma from bikurim, and we're going to learn everything from bikurim. We're going to make it an exact copy. Bedun mino vukibacho means no. We learn from it, bedun mino, but then we apply it to the thing we're learning to in a specific situation. We change it to apply to the place we're learning to. And we're going to learn exactly how this applies here. So Rabbi Eliyahu holds you learn it mamish. You copy and paste it. Ma bikurim mashkin ayotzim mekamoison. Just like by bikurim, the liquid that comes out of them is the same thing. Av trumanami mashka ayotzim mekamoison. So too by truma is doing the same thing. Umina, and furthermore, we're going to apply the same laws of bikurim to truma. Ma bikurim afilu sh'ar minin. Just like bikurim applies to sh'ar minim. Bikurim has all types of minim. Not only tirosh and yitzar, not only wine or grapes or olives and oil. Bikurim applies to all different types of fruits. So af truma nami, so to truma afilu sh'ar minim. Even the sh'ar minim of truma, the mashka is kemaisan. We learn fully from bikurim, just like bikurim. This din of mashka applies everywhere. All types of fruits, so too by truma applies everywhere. Rabbi Yeshua holds no. Dun mi no. Yes, you can learn from bikurim. Bikurim mashka nayosim kemaisan. We will learn that din from bikurim that af truma mashka nayosim kemaisan. So we will learn that. We'll transfer that din over to truma, but we're not going to now make it exactly equal to bikurim. V'uki basra. No, we apply it to its place in its own form. It applies in truma. It's in its own form. Ma mashkim dekachim b'truma. So too, the only mashkim that have kedushas truma is tirosh v'yitzar. In only this is midoraisa. Midoraisa by truma only tirosh and yitzar. Only grapes and olives, meaning only wine and shemen. In midiachrin aloi. So therefore, af mashkin ayotzim kemaisan tirosh v'yitzar in midiachrin aloi. So too, the din of mashkin ayotzim is only going to apply even on the derabanan level, right? Midoraisa and Janus Tamazite truma derabanan if it's not tirosh v'yitzar. But even on he says that therefore, but since he holds dun minov uki basra. So he's going to say that even on the Drabanan level, we're going to limit this to only the actual doraisa of truma. The Drabanan of truma is not going to have this din of mashka. The mashka yotzim k'moisa. Okay. Says the Gemara, V'adetnan. And this, what about the mission that we learned? Ein mevin bikurim mashka. It says you can't bring bikurim mashka ela hayotzim min hazeisim min hanovim. Still, b'diavad, you can only bring if it's zeisim min hanovim. But something else, that you can't bring a mashka of bikurim. Says the Gemara, Mani, who is it? The Gemara says it's Rabbi Yeshua. Hidamar dun minov uki basra. Meaning the kasha is who is it? Didn't we learn that bikurim the mashka is kemoi? So the Gemara says yes, but it's Rabbi Yeshua who holds Dun Minov Uki Basra, which means when he learns it from Bikurim to Truma, so now it becomes limited in Truma, it becomes limited to Tirish V'Yitzar, and then he goes back, V'Gamala Bikurim Truma, and then he goes backwards and he says, just like by Truma it only applied to Tirish V'Yitzar, how do we know it only applies to Tirish V'Yitzar? Because Truma Midarais is only by Tirish V'Yitzar. So when we learned from Bikurim to Truma, it limited it to Tirish V'Yitzar. So too now we're going to go back and say that even by Bikurim it only applies to Tirish V'Yitzar. So because he holds, he limits his drushes and he holds Dun Mino, but Uki Batro, you have to apply it in the place where you're learning it to, in the more specified situations. Therefore by Truma, since you only have it by Tirish V'Yitzar, so therefore you can go back and learn to Bikurim. Also Bikurim are only going to have by Tirish V'Yitzar. But the other man, the Amr, who holds that Dum Mino Mina, which means that the fact that Truma Midarais is only by Tirish V'Yitzar, that's not a limitation to him. That's a detail. What does it make a difference? If it wouldn't, Midrabanan, we're going to apply it also. And if Tirish V'Yitzar wasn't a limit by Truma, so then we apply it everywhere. He holds it's broad. You learn it fully. But only according to Madamar, who holds Dun Mina Vuki Basra, so therefore he's Gamar Lo the Bikurim with Truma. He learns Bikurim from Truma. And therefore by Bikurim it only applies to the Tirish V'Yitzar. V'hadit Nan says the Gemara ain't Seif Nisar Boy Mishum Orla. We don't give Malchus, we don't give 40 lashes by Orla. Ela la yoitim and Zaysim Minanovim. Only from Zaysim Minanovim, even though Orla applies to other things. So why don't you give Malchus on the mashke of Orla, even if it's not Zaysim Minanovim? Man, he says more again, it's Rabbi Yeshua, he damar dun minok Vuki Basra. It's Rabbi Yeshua who limits it to Tirish V'Yitzar, and therefore he learns it. V'gamar Bikurim Truma, and we learn Bikurim from Truma, just like Truma, it's limited to Tirish V'Yitzar, so to Bikurim. V'hadar Ma'aseh la'Arla pri mi Bikurim, and then he learns a Zereshava from Bikurim to Arla pri. Hadar Ma'aseh la'Arla, he brings it to Arla with pri from Bikurim. So it starts, and it's the whole din of Mashke starts with Bikurim. And then it goes to Truma, we apply it to Truma. But then Mandar Mos Dunminovuki Basra says it gets limited by Truma, gets limited only to Tirish V'Yitzar. And once we limit it to Tirish V'Yitzar, we bring back that limitation to Bikurim, and then from Bikurim back to Arla.